Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be part 8. Holy crap, I've never had one last that long before. Anyway, I think we're going to be able to finish it up today in this video. So I've pulled out a couple of pencils that I'm pretty sure I'm going to use. I'll be using the brown ochre. I'll be using the dark sepia, Polychromos, brown ochre luminance, maybe the raw umber luminance. I'm also going to be using some like buff titanium, probably Polychromos ivory. Anyway, I'll mention them when I get to those. So. But just to start, since I'm going to just kind of fill in some of this area to start with, I will start with the brown ochre. And you can see it's a really dull point on it because I don't want to make sharp lines. I want to make really soft, as soft kind of, as soft of a look as I can get, because it's really mostly blurred out. You don't see a lot of definition of anything. So I think we're just going to fill in. It's interesting to hear the sound of the pencil. It sounds scratchy. It's not, but it kind of sounds like it is. Interesting. Just going to sharpen this on my sandpaper. Not really sharpen, just kind of, I don't know what you would call it. Rub off that top layer of pencil and see if that does anything. Yeah, it feels and sounds a lot better. So there might have been a little something weird in there. A little hard bit in the lead, or I don't know, it's very odd. It's like it comes and goes. I want to try and avoid the black spots on here as best I can, just because I know if I go over those, it will pull black, and I want to be in control of whether I put black in and where it goes. So I find drafting film a little bit more of a challenge to get a solid, smooth coverage of pencil. More of a challenge than if I was doing this on paper. But you just kind of have to, I think it's just something that you got to practice. For me, the small circular strokes work pretty well. A light pressure and not pulling your pencil up off the paper. All right, so my shape of this is not exactly the way Um, not exactly the way that it is in the reference photo, but we're going to start. Our light color kind of comes in here and maybe starts in around there, so I don't want to bring this down too far. Maybe we can see if we can blend this orangey color with the buff titanium. Okay, so I'm just putting a tiny, like my pressure now is almost just barely touching the paper. And then I'll pull the, then the question is which pencil? I think buff titanium is going to be almost too white. The brown ochre, I think, is not yellow enough. What did we use to add a little more yellow? We used some light yellow ochre and cream. I think I'll start with the ivory Polychromos. Let's see how I feel about this. It's almost not dark enough. So maybe I will use brown ochre 10%. It's not yellow enough. Although there's a lot of this that isn't super yellow, so just stick with it for a little while. Maybe we'll use this as the in-between color between the two. All right, I'm going to switch to buff titanium. And then we'll glaze over it with something else, I think. This is going to be interesting because this line here kind of comes up and there's quite a bit of shadow. It's almost like that's the line where his leg starts, and this is more of his chest. So all of this has to get quite dark still. black into white or yellow is not easy. I'm gonna put some more. I'm gonna put some more black in. No, I don't want to do that yet. Don't do that yet. Let's do. All right, let's just keep going with the buff titanium. Sorry, I know I'm being very indecisive. It's just hard to know what the right thing to do is until I do it. So we'll put the light color in and then work the darker colors on top. Kind of a medium pressure, I guess I'm using. I'm not going as light as I would if I was just glazing the color over, but I don't even know if I need to put any of this down here because that's where it's really, really dark. I'm going to go ahead and put the black in here. Fairly light pressure because it's dark, and so we can build up the color. This is interesting. Blending all of these colors that normally wouldn't be side by side. I probably want to put a little bit of brown in there. A little more brown. It's probably too early to do this. I'm going to stay away from the edges and just darken the center a little bit. Take some light yellow ochre Polychromos. Just a little bit. Just only taking the lightest of pressures to get some color. So, all right. I'm gonna use my burnt umber. barely touching the paper. A little more pressure down here, but not a lot. Okay, I'm going to start adding some of this up here. I'm going to push in a little bit. I'm going to not use that. I'm going to use dark sepia instead. Well, we're going to need to get it to be a lot darker than that, I think. It's really tempting to want to apply more pressure to make it darker, but I think that would be the very wrong thing to do, because I don't want strong pencil strokes on here. I want it to be kind of fuzzy and soft. And if I go too hard, then you're going to have very definite pencil strokes. So I think if we do this, we can either use a paper stump or come back with another color and maybe blend it out, deepen it up a little bit. Curious what will happen if I use a paper stump. Hopefully the camera won't shake too much. Well, it does soften things. It kind of blends it. And softens it a bit. And then if I come back in, what would I come back in with? That's the question. Just experimenting a little bit here. No to the raw umber. This is the same thing we used before. So brown ochre again. Everything starts getting very soft. But is it dark enough? Yeah, it might be. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then if I want to, after we add more black, let me just do a little. So I'm going to add more black. Do I want any of these spots to be bigger? I don't know. I'm going to keep the black kind of in the center. Some of these can't be helped because I want it to get bigger. And then what we used before, this burnt umber. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. Although I'm wondering for right in here if I can go even darker. Okay, I'm going to keep coming down with the dark sepia, just like what we were doing before. And then I think I will go over the whole thing again with the brown ochre. That seemed like it kind of blended everything pretty nicely. This will be interesting. And then we'll have to, I don't even know what I'm going to do down there yet. Okay, so brown ochre. It looks very, it looks very unattractive on the camera. It looks very yellow, like brassy, orangey on the camera, but it doesn't look like that in person. Which is really a bummer. It just looks like a darker version of everything else that we've been doing in person, but boy, does it look unattractive on the camera. I don't know why. All right. This is cream. I don't know why. It's not really doing much. This needs some help. I'm going to bring in the burnt umber. This is all going to get hidden by matte right here anyway. I don't know why I'm worrying about it so much. Paper stump. That's better. Okay, I'm going to push this up a little bit so that I'm... Okay. I need to get the dark spots in here. I don't know what to do. I guess I don't need to do anything because really it doesn't look like that in person. So this is the burnt umber. All right, going to go to my black. There it is. Okay, and work on these a little bit. Trying to keep the edges, keep away from the edges so that the edges are a little softer. It's a little harder on the small ones. Try and just keep those edges soft. I want to try and just change the shape of this just a little bit. Although it's not too far off, I guess. It's this one that's the most off. It just needs a little more black. I'm afraid to put the black in here just yet. I really want to, but I just think I'll mess it up still. I still have so much to do yet with other colors in here. So I'm going to wait on those. I am going to use it around the black spots. Oh, I missed one here. I can see when I look side by side between this and the reference photo that I'm not nearly as dark as the reference photo. And so I have to make a decision as to if I like it with it not being as dark, or if I want to keep working it and trying to get it darker. And I don't want it to be a decision based on, oh, I can't do it, I can't get it darker. I want it to be a decision based on, I like it better, lighter. And I don't know the answer to that one yet. Because if I don't look at the reference photo and I just look at my piece, it looks fine. It looks darker. It looks like the way I would want it to be. So I think I'll save trying to make it darker until I get more of this done, and then I can make a decision. And we might, if I do decide to do it, I might try doing it in from the other side. I do like the addition though of this burnt umber. And it seems like it's helping a little bit to take some of that brassy look that was showing up away. So that's good. Okay, so this all starts to, I kind of feel like it needs some gray, but all right, I'm going to have to put the black in because it's, yeah, I am. I'm going to have to put the black in. I'll just have to work around it. Because I'm having a hard time, my brain is having a hard time kind of visualizing what things are going to look like. I think one of my mistakes, it's not a mistake, one of my problems, I don't know what to call it. I don't feel like I made my spots as big as they should have been. It seems like my spots should all have been bigger. All right, see, oh, that's weird. That might be a gray that I need to add, like a French gray, which kind of wondering if I should break out my Prismacolors for that, because they've got such a nice. I love Prisma grays. Their cool grays are truly cool. Their warm grays are, you know, warm, and their French grays are nice and brown. I'm really struggling with making these spots look as faded out as I would like. That's going to be behind a thing I don't even want. It's like, why am I worrying about it so much? Okay, this. Actually comes. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out, though. It's just trying to get to the finish line without messing it up. Gray. I guess I'm going to try gray when I get done with this black. Yeah, what am I doing wrong here? Like, these look so much closer together. What did I do? I don't know. I don't know if I should worry about it or not. Okay, so let's break out a French gray. So Luminance has a French gray. They also have a sepia. Okay, this is sepia 50%. I don't love that. So this is French gray, 50%. All right, I'm going to work with this for a little while and see how it feels to me. Don't be in a rush. It's something I always have to tell myself to do. Slow down. take a step back, look at what you're doing, and change if you need to change. Let's try some in here. Might want something a little bit warmer. Medium pressure. There's so much more wide open space here than I was planning on using. So I can add another spot, or I can make these bigger. Sure. There's still so much space. I'm going to put another little bit here. I'm switching to burnt umber. I need to darken the insides of these black ones. It feels like I'm really struggling here, but I'm really not. I'm just, or maybe I am. I don't know. I'll get it. It's just a matter of, you know, working it until you're happy. If I have to add black to the back of this, I will. Okay, back to that. Where'd it go? French gray. Back to the French gray. And then I'm wondering if I use the paper stump and just blend all around the black. I'm actually going to use the French gray in here. Anyway, I'm wondering if the paper stump will kind of blend everything all out real nice and make everything look softer, which is what I wanted. Still need more black in here. And down here is just... I'm gonna put some more color in here. This is still French gray. All right, I need to slow down because I'm starting to see circles. I don't want circles. Don't want to see any pencil strokes. Switching to burnt umber. Okay, more dark gray in here. We need that shadow. I swear, I put pencils down and then they just disappear. Okay, so a little bit more French gray. This is 30%. I'm wondering if I need one that's even a little bit darker. Then I have to find it. Okay, let me do a quick check and see if it's in my... Let's see, what is my French gray? It's 90. And it's out. I just have to find it. Oh, 93. 90. Yay. Okay. French gray. I guess it's enough. I really want to break out the stump. I want to see how that's going to go. And I'm crossing my fingers that it doesn't just completely... Oh, you know what I want to do also before I do that? I want to erase the pencil lines so that I don't think that there's something there that really isn't there. So, I know you can't see that. I'm just erasing my lines. Okay. All right, I'm apologizing ahead of time if this shakes the camera too much. I'm actually thinking I'm going to go right over the black as well. That might soften that and make it look a little bit blurry. I actually quite like it. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I feel pretty good about this. I'm not sure how much darker I really want to go. Because I'm thinking that because I'm not doing a black background, I might not need to go as dark. Just checking to see if this is going to blend, soften these. Doesn't seem to do much there. Feels pretty good, like it's doing something here. No, I like this. I think I'm pretty happy with this. You know, sometimes you just gotta live with something for a little bit, sit back, look at it, think about it. I like it. I like it. I don't know that I feel the need to do any more. I will probably need to come in and add some more black because I'm sure that it will fade out overnight, making me add more. I think that's about the only thing I don't like about the drafting film. I gotta say, every other aspect about it, I really, really like. I definitely want the centers of our spots to be nice and dark. Okay. How much further back can I go? Let's move some of these lights out of the way, so it kind of shows more like what it really looks like. Okay, so there's only one thing left to do, and that is think about, I don't want to call it a background because it's not really a background. But on my tiger, I did an oil pastel, added oil pastels in white around the tiger. So maybe what I'll do is I will pull that out of the frame because I've already stuck it in a frame. I'll pull that out of the frame and we'll kind of compare what I did on that one compared to this one. And then we can decide what, or I can decide what I will do. So just give me a second and I will go get that. Okay, so here are my two pieces side by side of what they're hanging together. They have matching frames and they'll both be in black mattes. So I really like the way they look together. I'm happy about that. Okay, so for this one, unfortunately, it's already like mounted, matted and mounted, but this one has the brown backing, the tan backing. And then I also, I think you can probably see, I hope you can see, I also put a, put those white oil pastels on the back side so that so that he was more white closest to his body and a little more mottled, and you could see some more of the tan on the outside. And so I think that I'm going to do that here for these guys because, I mean, for this guy, because I want them to match. I want them to go together. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So I think I can push in a little bit more. I don't want to come in too tight because I want you to be able to see. Pull it up a little bit. Okay, so these, the ones that I have are the Paul Rubin oil pastels. And I think I want to pull out a paper stump. I need to try and find one that doesn't have any stains on it because I don't want to get cross-contamination of color. Hopefully this one will be okay. All right, so what I'm going to, I could do it in two different ways, and I honestly don't remember how I did it before. I could either use a brush and stencil it on there, or I could just put it straight on. All right. Okay, I'm going to put some of the oil pastel right onto my Caran Dash palette. And then I will go ahead and use the brush. And put it on there. This is going to be really subtle. This is not meant to be a bold you know, a bold background. This is just because I wanted a background that wasn't just completely solid. I wanted a little bit of texture. I could probably do this on the front, and I would probably have, I would probably be quite happy with it on the front, to be honest, because it would show up a little bit more. But I'm going to do it just like I did the other one. Now remember, these don't ever really dry completely. I want to make sure that you guys can see. It looks weird because it's all faded out. But it's not going to matter, because once you get it matted and framed, nothing will ever touch this, so it won't matter. I suspect that they probably dry a little bit better on paper, because it probably sort of soaks into the paper a little bit. I don't think they ever really harden on the drafting film. All right, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's just, I mean, seriously, it's super duper subtle. I don't even know if you guys can tell that I did anything. And actually, you know what, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I will, oh, do we have whiskers still we have to worry about? We do. We do have whiskers we still have to worry about. So I'm not putting anything on the front yet. I got to get those whiskers in real quick. But I like the mottled background. It's soft. It's probably way more visible in person though than it is on camera, because it really is super subtle. So let's do some whiskers real quick. Good grief, I can't forget those. A really bad habit of forgetting whiskers and ears. Human ears and animal whiskers. Okay, let's push this over. All right, there are a lot of whiskers on this cat. I'm not sure how well they're going to show up, so we're about to find out. I am going to use my Caran Dash white. Whiskers are one of those things that you have to just commit to, because if you don't do it, if you don't just do it, it looks like you hesitated, or you like they don't look as real. So you have to just kind of try and just commit. And if you do something that you don't like, well, you either learn to live with it or you try and fix it. So I'm okay with how these are showing up. I'm okay with how these are showing up. The question is, are we going to have to scratch them out on top of his body? I don't know that we will. These are showing up pretty well right on top of the, yeah. I think they're showing up just fine. You need lots. I'm going to sharpen again. Okay, we did those already. We did a few there. If I wanted to, I could take a gray. The question is, how dark of a gray do I want to go? Okay, I'm going to take Cold Gray 3 and just put a few in and with the gray as well. And then maybe just find one of these and scratch out a little bit over the black. That works okay. All right. They're not showing up as, you know, super bright white, but I don't know if I would be able to get them any brighter white using the scratch tool, to be honest. Some of these are kind of black at the base. Which is kind of interesting. Careful. We can try. Let's try. Let's take our scratch tool. Get the... Yeah, it shows up. All right, I'm not going to attempt to go over one that I've already done. That would be not good. All right, well, you know that the scratch tool is not going to do any good anywhere where there's not a decent amount of color already. I'm okay with these the way they are. Maybe try and get one more thick one. Maybe I'll start here, go in. And if I wanted to go on the back side, whoops, sorry about that. That was my head. I could draw in. I'm not positive which ones were scratched out here. I think this was scratched out. Since I'm on tan paper and not white paper, you could go in and add, oh, what is that? You could go in and add some white to the back. I think I'm gonna need to add some more. Gotta be careful. Don't want to get things dirty. If you get them dirty, you'll be sorry. Okay, I'm okay with that. Just kind of absorbing here for a minute. I'm going to call this done, you guys. I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. So, yeah, we'll call that a wrap. I might come in. It looks like there's one here that I scratched out. Maybe I can do that on the front. I also could try, you know, everybody raves about the, oh, what is it? There's a pencil that I got that everybody raves about. Where did I put it? Oh, here. This Museum Aquarelle. It's the water-soluble pencil from Caran, but everybody uses it dry. They say it's like one of the best whites you can get. Yeah, I'll have to play around with that some more. I bought a couple of them, and then I used them, but I seem to use my Caran white more. Okay, I will stop jibber jabbering. I'm going to call this one finished, and I believe I'm going to do a pastel painting next. But I hope you guys like big cats, because I think I'm going to do another cat. I think I'm going to do a lion cub in pastel. So if I am correct, if the photo that I'm thinking of using is not one that I bought, but one that that came from Pixabay, then that's what I'll do. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me. If you decide to do this sorry, I was looking at my tiger. If you decide to do this leopard, please post it online. It would be wonderful if you would let the people in your groups know where the tutorial came from. You can, mention Art by Caran Valentine on YouTube. That would be awesome. I also have a Facebook group. Don't forget, if you're not already a member, you can come over there and share it in the Facebook group. That is Art by Caran Valentine YouTube on Facebook. So I would love to see your completed works. I have seen one from a subby already, and she did an incredible job on it. I was so proud of her, and I hope she was very proud of herself. She did a really nice job. So that is all. Until I see you guys on the next one, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.